The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Since COVID, we're all just like on the edge of rage, just ready to pounce on someone and get angry, aren't we?
Oh, no, it's not great.
And like, even if it's someone you like I like David Beckham, and then I was reading this story today, and I was like, oh my God, what an arrogant a-hole.
Entitled? Did you use it entitled?
I thought entitled.
Yep.
So there's this couple, right, and they are getting married at this luxury resort to Gleneagles in Scotland.
I actually didn't think they had resorts. I know hotels.
Well, that sounds like
It's on the water.
golf resort or something, doesn't it?
No, must be. Gleneagles, it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, apparently it's an amazing location for both weddings and parties. And David Beckham...
And anything?
David Beckham knew this as well. He turns 50 next year.
Yes.
And he decided that the Gleneagles Hotel was where he wanted his 50th to be on the date where this couple was getting married. So it was already booked.
Right.
So David,
yes,
and this is where I was getting ready to hate him.
Okay.
So I was like,
he didn't make them change it.
He's going to make them change it. Yeah, he made them change it. So he said, I want to have my party on here. Can you please move the date? So I was ready to I'm going to
hate him. Yeah, I'm going to get him.
Anyway, I can't hate him. This is what he's done, right? So to get them to change it, he is paying for their new wedding.
So same place, different date?
Yeah. Their new wedding and everything to do with it. Mm-hmm. He's paying for their honeymoon. Oh. Guys, he's paying the mortgage off their house. He's paying the mortgage off their house.
That is unbelievable. It's changed their life by just having it on the same day.
They won lotto by just booking the same venue that Bex wanted.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And here's the thing with weddings, right? They're all done with packages, knowing that he's going to... You go the top package.
Yeah, that's right.
Like open spirits the whole lot, the whole
he
time.
Wouldn't care,
all of a sudden...
I mean, come on.
I know, another 100 people are coming to your wedding.
Oh, yeah? Why not?
This is the dream.
I mean, a beautiful looking place. It's amazing.
Eagles.
Nothing.
He's paying for their mortgage after all that as well.
Nothing like... And look at this place, right? That is beautiful,
yeah,
this place.
It's gorgeous.
I know a lot of people have their weddings at places that they'd never be able to afford, but if these people, if they are at all part of this beautiful resort world, their mortgage might not have been too small either.
Yeah, that's true.
You would have asked the question, wouldn't you?
I know.
Because these days, anyone, bloody two people walking down the street, their mortgage could be $1.5 million.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
don't know anymore because $1.5 million doesn't buy you what it used to.
But Bex wouldn't even notice that.
He wouldn't even notice that.
It's changed to him.
Hey,
so everyone's a winner.
This has never happened to me, but I'd love to speak to people when someone wanted something that they had, what you got for it. What they were what they were prepared to give you to get something that you want, whether it be something physical or a date or to convince you to do something. God.
When we were students and had no money, so mates of mine, there were 4 of them that shared a share house.
Yeah.
And like the rent was, I mean, back then was probably each about $80 a week.
Yeah.
Those were the days, weren't they? And the person that owned the house wanted to sell it, but they were tenanted for another year.
Okay.
And they offered them, the 4 of them together, $5,000 to get out. Within a month, and they went rather than
to a student.
Yeah,
I mean, come on. You don't care that you got nowhere to live.
Absolutely,
No, absolutely.
And there was no rental crisis. No. You could literally walk out and go to a real estate agent and say, "Can I have a look at that house?" And they just give it to you. And so they just took the cash. They couldn't get out of there quick enough.
You have to.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. On a lesser note, I remember our good friend Theo, who's now living over in Europe, the pizzeria champion. Yep. His brother. Remember we met his brother a few times? So his brother was wearing an Emu Export old school Swan Brewery T-shirt, and a guy came up to him at the pub because it was vintage, and offered him a couple of $100 to take it off and give it to him.
For the shirt off his back.
Yeah.
That's
shirt off his back.
You'd do it straight away. Yeah. This is the thing. These are offers that were too good to refuse, and that's what we want to talk about. We want to know when someone wanted something you had, what did they give you in order to get it? Sam's in Willerton. Hey, Sam. Hey, Sam.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Sam.
Sam, did you have something that someone else wanted?
Yeah, about 15 years ago, I was working for a catering company, and my boss really wanted me to attend an event we were trying to secure a contract for, and it was my best friend's 10th night that I was organising. I was the maid of honour.
Yep.
So he offered me he'd have a driver pick me up from the event and take me straight to the hen's night, but I was still going to be about half an hour late. So I was like, no, I don't think so. And then he said, what if I just pay for the entire hen's night and the driver? So We ended up having an amazing time. It was about $5,000. He just paid for everything, and I had a driver pick me up from the event and drop me straight to the hen night.
Amazing.
Amazing. Sam, that's awesome.
I love that the thing that he wanted was you, basically your services, because you're awesome. And then he paid for the whole hens night. That's amazing.
Yeah, my best friend was pretty stoked. I was like, yeah, whatever you want, just let me know and we'll get it sorted.
Oh, my God, how exciting. Because your best friend would have been like, had a trolley full of penis sippers. And
yes, exactly.
And penis hats. And
you
gone, now I don't have to get these.
I know, you always get them, regardless.
You have them just in case.
You're always going to use them, aren't you?
Thanks, Sam. Emma's in Mozzie Park. Hi, Emma.
Hi.
Hi.
All right. What did you have that somebody else wanted so badly they made you a great offer?
Same sort of scenario. He actually wanted myself and my boyfriend, not in that kind of way, but we were living in East Fremantle in a very ramshackle kind of house in our 20s, paying like $210 a week. And a very wealthy businessman who lived on the river in East Fremantle literally came, we knew him from dog walking, knocked on our door and said, I have an investment property in Alfred Cove. Can you move in there, $190 a week, put all the bills in my name so I can send my kids to Applecross High?
Oh, yes!
Emma, that's the jackpot.
Emma!
So you said yes, right?
We lived there for 3 years, for $190 a week, beautiful home in Alfred Cove. All the bills in his name. He got proof of residency, so it was a great deal. So,
Emma.
What's weird about this story, right, is that he's that rich, but his kids are going to a state school.
Well, Applecross become one of those schools where the education thing is so hard. To get in there is really difficult. Everyone moved into the area.
Yeah.
Man.
It's one of become one of those specialty sort of arts.
Yeah.
It's arts and drama.
Yeah.
Remember, wasn't Cooper going to go there for a little bit?
Oh well, to get him into John Curtin was a hell of an event, and
you
it's a
lived in the
thing.
Yeah. Oh my God, Emma, that was one of those stories where I love hearing it, but we sort of hate you for it because it didn't happen to us.
Yeah, that's right.
And they're the best ones.
That's the dream,
awesome.
isn't it? That's the dream. Well done, Emma. Pam, hello.
Hello, how you going?
Hey,
All right, Pam, what have you got for us?
So a little while ago, I used to work for a guy that used to drive a lot of luxury cars and obviously used to speed, multi-novas, red light cameras and things. And any time he got a fine, he would pay you to take the fine, but it was $1,000 per demerit point.
Highly illegal. Highly illegal, everybody.
Yeah, highly.
So the normal going is 3 demerit points, isn't it?
Yeah, generally, but I mean, over the years, I couldn't have told you how much it took. For a while there, I was driving with 2 demerit points.
So she had some killer shoes.
Exactly. Have a look at this clutch now.
Wow. I don't know if I could do that one.
Oh, I'd do it for much less, yeah.
Sean, you don't have enough points to flash around, let me tell you. Am I right?
No, I don't. I'm always on the edge.
Thanks, Pam.
These are each amazing in their own way. Chantel's in Stirling. Hi, Chantel.
Good morning.
Hey, mate.
Hey,
We're
Chantel.
excited to hear what happened.
Okay, so I had to do a calculation about 30 years ago. I was working in London doing the backpacking thing. So I'm working in a pub and this guy comes in and he looks at the T-shirt that I'm wearing and it's a promo T-shirt. From memory, I think it was Murphy's beer.
Yeah.
And he's looked at it and he goes, I really want that T-shirt. I really, really want it. And I went, well, I'm wearing it.
Yeah,
and he went, I'll give you £20 for it. And I went, oh, no. And I look at my boss and he's just kind of gone, whatever. And he goes, I'll give you £40 for it. And I went, no. And he goes, I'll give you £50 for it. And, as a backpacker, that was like $100 Aussie dollars.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I went, oh, okay, I'll go and take it off and I'll give it to you. And he goes, no, you got to take it off right here. So I went, oh, all right. So I figure, you see more at the beach. So I just took my T-shirt off and standing there in my bra and I gave it to him.
Yes.
He gives me the £50, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
And then I just reach under the bar and we've got a box of about 50 other T-shirts. So just pull one back on and pocketed the £50.
Hey, that's a good score.
So he really just wanted to see your boobies, didn't he?
Oh, you can't blame him.
Well,
That's how her skimpy career started.
And you know what? Back when you're free, back when you're young and free, you don't have so many objections to that sort of stuff. So you want to see my boobs? Yeah, no worries. £25 each. No worries. Boom, 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 boom.
So he wasn't really paying 50 quid for the T-shirt at all. 50 quid to see your boobies. Oh, nice, Chantal. Thank you. Beswell, hello.
Hello, how you guys going?
Hey, Beswell.
Okay, have you got a story for us?
Yes, I do. So about 9 years ago, I took my girlfriend at the time for dinner. I had plans to propose.
Yes.
And I snuck in and got a room at the Crown Metropole.
Oh.
Yes.
Yep. And it was just a regular room on level 4, just a standard room.
Yeah.
And when I went to check in, somebody wanted to take the whole floor. I don't know for what reason.
Okay.
Yes.
They offered to upgrade us all the way to the loft.
No!
You got the loft?
Beswell.
I got the loft, and when you get in, they've got your name written on it and everything.
Yes.
I changed. We didn't make it to dinner. We went straight to the room, and I proposed, and she said yes.
Oh, Beswell.
She thought that you could offer her that life forever,
Yeah, I'm going to live
Beswell.
this life a lot.
You know what I love is she's probably thinking, God, he thinks so much of me. And it's like, no, you were in an average
You were
room.
a standard room.
It was a regular room, yeah.
I saw you as a regular fiance.
I love the fact that you took advantage of that.
Yes.
This is the time I'm going to propose here. It's not going to get any better
so
than
Harry
this.
put up the floor plan
Yes.
of
got the massive
of the
balcony.
The
loft.
loft. Yeah, beautiful.
Oh, mate, how many photos did you take that night, Beswell?
Oh, man, the view of the city, everything.
Yeah.
And we've been happily married 10 years this year.
Oh,
That's a beautiful story.
Yeah, sure.
What a way to go.
Let's shower
Sean.
him with wonderful things.
It is a lovely story, Beswell, to end this Thursday. $300 voucher for Bailey on the terrace coming your way. Indulge your taste buds with exquisite creations crafted by award-winning chefs. BaileyOnTheTerrace.com.au, everyone.
Take
Check
your
it out.
beautiful wife out for a dinner, all right?
Thanking you, I will do.
No. And you're in the running for Nove's 10K a day in May, Bez. Well, on the way your luck's running, you'll probably win it. Good luck. It's 9:05.
Can I just say, Bezel's one of those people you
I
speak
know.
to and his energy instantly makes you happy.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. We
Just
don't
like
know him. He
Ross.
could be a
Just
monster.
like Ross.
Like me, yeah.
Like Ross? Yeah.
Ross is beautiful. And he's just shaved and he's looking younger and
Yeah,
younger.
I look 4 years
You
old.
do.
You do. It's so good, though, Ross. When you get older, it's like, you know those people who are always the ones who ask for ID? And they go,
Yeah.
It's annoying when you're younger, but it's okay as you get
It's
older.
really flattering when
It
you're
is.
older.
Hey, imagine there was a divorced couple, right? A really bitter divorce.
Yep.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's so bad.
But they have to work together.
Okay.
Go to Nathan and Sean socials. That is what it looks like. There's a camera in the news booth here of Sean and Ellie when they were on air together.
Big divorce energy.
It's like no one's taught them how to look at each other when talking.
Check it out. It's on all the socials. Got it from here, guys. Thank you.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
Great news, everybody. Tonight on Channel 10 at 7:30, Taskmaster Australia's back with Season 2. And we have the Taskmaster himself, or as he's probably prefer to be known, the Greater Tom.
The Greater Tom.
Because the Lesser Tom's the other guy. Tom Gleeson, hello.
Oh, hi. No, I mean, I don't need to be known as the Greater Tom.
You're
I'm
just
just Tom.
Tom, default
Because
Tom.
I'm, like, the fact that I'm great is just built in. That's just built into who I am.
It's a given.
Yeah.
It's a
So
given,
when
yeah.
you say Tom Gleeson, people think great. That's top of
Already,
mind.
Yeah.
yes.
So to create a demarcation, he is lesser Tom because he is lesser in every way.
In every way.
You know,
Yes.
He's shorter.
genetic,
Yep.
profile, fame,
Yep.
Finances,
All
He
of
has
it.
more hair.
property portfolio, the whole bit. He's just less.
Yeah.
You did make the statement when opening the show that we'll get to see tonight that those were on the list straight away, just to make sure that Tom,
Understands.
knew his position.
Well, I was a bit worried that between season 1 and season 2, he might have got a bit of like glow from the fans.
Yeah. Well, we've
Taskmaster
interviewed him.
Fans can be very fixated, and they might have started to make him think that he was the most popular person on the show, which he clearly isn't.
Yeah.
So I just wanted that to be clear from the
Clear.
top.
It
Abundantly
reminds me
clear.
of the little old woman that used to sit next to a chair next to Dame Edna. What was her name? Madge?
Tom Cashman is my man. You should change your surname to Madgeman.
Hey, that first episode, it got me straight away. say we won't go spoiling anything, but one of the first segment is to bring something in that doesn't sound like what it is.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just even that is so funny, Tom. What I love about you in this show is everyone else is doing all the work and you're just sitting there. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. It's amazing. I send them off to do tasks at the Taskmaster house. This can take weeks for them to complete.
Yeah.
And I do not go to the Taskmaster house.
No.
I wait for them to come back, and then I scrutinise their efforts in, let's be honest, the comfiest chair in the studio. I don't even have to stand up.
Tom, your feedback is pretty good. I was thinking for, I don't know, for the time slot, there's some crafty words getting thrown out there.
Yeah, I've become pretty good at trying to choose my words carefully so I know which ones are going to make it to air. So often I imply stuff. Sometimes I just say it out loud. But to be honest, it's not really my problem. It's Channel 10's problem. And I'm happy to let their lawyers solve it.
Yeah, good on you.
What I have noticed a little bit from even just the first episode is that Will Anderson, who's one of the contestants on this season, he gets a lot of age shaming from you and from the other contestants. What's the age difference between you and Will, Tom?
It's like 5 months.
Yeah. I think it's actually 4.
He just turned 50. I'm about to turn 50. For some reason, when I hammer him about his age, I think it's an Achilles heel for him.
Yes.
Whereas I'm perfectly comfortable with how old I am. Whereas maybe he came to comedy when he was like a bright young thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I've been a slow developer. So I'm used to being middle-aged in my career.
When I was seeing Tom, when Will was doing one of the tasks, he's come from a dairy family.
Yes.
He did say a statement which I'm not sure how true this is, but I'm gonna believe it. Cows cry milk.
They don't cry milk.
Sean.
Yes.
I don't know anything about cows, but I can categorically say they don't cry milk.
I think it works though. I'm going to run with it
Yeah,
from here on in.
I don't know. And you know what? Everyone can
I don't think they cry.
Yeah.
Well, if they cry milk, that means they shit steak. I don't know about that.
Wouldn't that be a lot easier for everyone?
I won't tell you where the barbecue sauce comes from. You know what I love about Will is about to turn 50, but Will
has turned 50.
Yeah, so Will's turned 50. So, but he clings to his younger style. So he's got like he's 50, but he's got that Mad Max haircut.
Bit of a quiff kind
sort of
thing
thing.
going
Kramer.
on.
Yeah. Nothing that you have to worry about.
It was on the opposite. I was reaching for my middle-aged style when I was 30. So I've looked 50 for about 20 years now.
You've nailed
I think I've
it.
looked exactly the same. I shaved my head 30 years ago and I was like, bugger this. I'm just going to look like this from now on. I'm going to be average but consistent.
Well, no one's ever no one goes over the top with how you look or the other way around, so it works out perfectly.
Yeah.
We don't
it
understand
works
that
out
either.
perfectly. It also means on Instagram, I know exactly why my fans have followed me on Instagram. And it's not for a perv. They're there purely for the humour.
That's
the other thing that is a bit different about this particular series of Taskmaster that I don't think we've ever seen anywhere else from memory is that you've got a married couple on there, or a couple, they're not technically married, but so Lloyd Langford and Anne Edmonds, who are two individually very funny people, but then there's that married dynamic of of them as well.
They're together and they've got a child, and they do love each other, but when it comes down to trying to win, they are happy to torch each other, no problems.
Yes.
Like,
it's too good.
The loyalty is paper thin in this show. They really... There are some shows where at the end of it, I almost felt like I had to go and visit them in their dressing room and say, are you two still together? I'm worried about you.
Still together.
Hey, Tom, was Taskmaster, because we know, you kill it with Hard Quiz, but we're guessing you do it for $13.50 a week.
Work for the ABC.
We've gone for some sweet Channel 10 money.
Yeah, was Taskmaster, was that you selling out? Do we make bank? How are we? Was it good?
Well, I do very well with Taskmaster, and I'm happy to point out I do better than all the cast, and Lesser Tom definitely. Lesser Tom is pretty much, he's pretty much an intern on the show. I'm not even sure he gets anything at all. But yeah, in terms of selling out, I mean, I started at Channel 10. I used to do a sketch show.
I know.
So you could call this a return to home.
Yeah.
Except I don't want to admit that because I'd prefer to live in a home that had high ratings.
So say if there was something that came along, because, Taskmaster is in your wheelhouse, you know what I mean? It's something that you should be doing. But, if something was to come along, right? So say, okay, I'm going to talk about it. Dr. Chris Brown, the vet, hosting a renovation show. So something that makes no sense that you might not be proud of. Would you do it for the right amount of money?
Well, I've turned out I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I've turned it down before. I turned down the Masked Singer.
Did you?
Because I just figured they're not really my flavour.
No, they're not.
And it was a lot of money I turned down. But
really?
With the Masked Singer, it all worked out in the end because I rang Channel 10 the other day and I said, the Masked Singer and The Bachelor, they've got to go.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're not going to be able to afford me anymore. So we've got to clear the deck. I've had enough of Osher.
Yeah, has anybody checked on Osher?
On the same day, please. I want them gone on the same day. I want Osher to know his place. He can go back to doing his podcast.
Let's just go and take down his poster.
Channel 10.
I can't believe they've finally axed The Bachelor.
I can't believe it either. But are they just putting it to bed for a little
dude,
while?
that was running on fumes for too long. We are done. We're done. And now Osher will be eating out of our bins. It's fantastic. I cannot wait.
Osher, they didn't even give him a rose ceremony. They could have at least
They just line up all the Channel 10 hosts of the different shows and then hand them roses until there's
I'll
none
be on the
left.
scrap heap too one day. Don't worry about that.
You'll always be on top. You're always on top.
Well, we love Taskmaster. It is just endlessly entertaining. If episode 1's anything to go by, it's going to be a ripper series. Thank you for joining us, Tom, the Taskmaster.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
Check it out tonight, everybody. Channel 10 or 10 Play if you're that way inclined. 7:30 p.m. is the time slot. Nice family time slot. Good on you, Tom.
See you, mate.
Talk again
Thank you.
soon.
Bye.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Okay, we've been looking at all the stories come off from that Singapore Airlines turbulence flight. It's just unbelievable that horrendous.
All that carnage happened in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I thought
amazing,
it must have
isn't
been a lot longer now.
Yeah.
I saw an interview with this bloke, this Pommy bloke that was flying to see his son for his wedding, and then that was, I think, the first leg of the flight, and then they had like 4 other legs to go, and he said, we're heading home.
Oh.
We're not going to my son's wedding. It was supposed to be on Friday, and he just had, and you can't blame him.
No,
man, that's
no.
so horrendous.
Yeah, and he's just one of the ones that's had a laceration on top of his head, so, let alone the ones that got thrown around the bloody cabin. It was crazy with this guy named Josh Barker. He was one of the 211 passengers on the Boeing. He thought that it was over.
I would.
Yeah.
Well, it dropped 2,000 metres in 10 seconds, and you go
2 kilometres. You can't even run 2 kilometres.
Yeah,
Think about
that's
that.
right. That's right. And
No,
so it
that's
would have
good.
felt like you're free falling essentially, and you're assuming the worst. Like that is horrendous.
Yeah. So at 9:10 a.m. on May the 21st, he sent his mother this text. I don't want to scare you, but I'm on a crazy flight. The plane is making an emergency landing. I love you all. That was it. So
I
his
don't
mother,
want to scare you, that poor woman.
His mother, Alison, said she received the text. It was petrifying. She was terrified. She basically had to wait 2 hours of her... She said the longest 2 hours of her life waiting to hear back from her kid. But that is so full-on for you to receive that text.
Yeah, that's
Luckily, everything was okay. But for you to receive that text, but also the thought of sending that text... to a loved one. It's like, this could be the last time you say something.
Yeah, that's
you don't know how this is going to pan out. So
No.
luckily I've never been in this scenario where I've had to send that text out.
No, but I've thought about it a lot.
Where?
A
Like
lot.
when?
Oh, jumping on planes and stuff like that, particularly if I'm by myself, mainly because you've got other people you're leaving behind all the time.
Yeah.
And then I fret sometimes if, a couple of times I've got into Bali earlier than, say, Megan, or the other way around because I had to stay back or something, for instance, and you fret when you don't hear about them, and I always think about that text coming through. What would I say? In how far could I get to my phone?
Shaun, when you were in Bali and the bombings happened while you were there, how did you go getting messages home then?
It was a landline straight away, so I was able to get to the front of the hotel, within 20 minutes of the bomb, probably even less, maybe 15.
So before it had even hit the news here.
Yeah. And I got on the phone straight away, and I rang Dad, was the first one, and I said, Dad, there's been a bomb going off, all this stuff's happened, all these people are dead, and he's like, so you're having a good time? And I'm like, because he just woke up, mate.
I didn't know where that sentence was going to go, but I was going to say, you don't ring Henry for the first one. So I wouldn't ring Dad, because he'll repeat a story. If I'm speaking to my dad about something that he doesn't want to talk about, I'll finish saying it and he'll go, no, we're not talking about that. And then he'll go back to what he's talking about. And that's why he would have said, no, we're not talking about that. Anyway, the parking at Carronot's insane. Is what he would have said.
Oh, that was the conversation.
We want to know if you have been in a scenario where something's gone down and you've sent that text because you don't know what's about to happen. And if you've received that text from a loved one
receiving,
as
I think,
well,
is even worse because
Oh, my God.
the person sending it, they know how they are, but the person receiving it is left in absolute limbo until I hear from you the next time.
Basically a goodbye text in case things don't pan out. We want to know if you've received or sent that.
Stephanie, hello.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Hi,
Good morning, Steph.
What happened?
So I actually received that text back in 2016. My husband and his mate, they put a new overshade on his tinny and they decided to go out and test it between Dampier and Carafa.
Yeah. Oh, wow, okay.
And that day it was particularly windy and I said, it's not a good day. No, babe, it will be right, you know. We got this. Just going to go think a few lines and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then in 4 hours into it, I receive a message, babe, the boat sank offshore. Don't know where we are. The boat's gone. And then that was end of communication. He ended up losing his, the phone dropped to the bottom of the ocean. 6 hours later, so I called the police and everyone you could think of. 6 hours later, lucky we call them Carafians up there.
Yeah.
They've come across up the jumper in their forward drive to go snorkeling, and they found them.
Oh,
Well, they were just in the water, or they were on an island.
did they swim to shore or something? How'd they swim?
They floated to the shore. Holding their esky full of beer.
When you sink a tinny, you want to sink a tinny. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
Well, what were you...
Beer or anything like that, but the beer was fine.
Hey, Steph, from a person receiving that text and then not being able, and then communications cut off, what did that do to you during that time?
My heart sank. So I've been with my partner since we were 13. We're now 35.
Honey.
And we have 3 daughters, and I just initially just dropped the phone and was like, what the hell do I do? That sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
And naturally you think the worst.
Or do you think this is the text and this is my life is now changed from now on? You're like going, oh my God, I hope someone puts a genie back in the bottle. I hope this is not what it is.
Glad there was a happy ending there,
Thanks,
Steph.
honey.
Thank you. Joe's in Dutch. Hello.
Hi, how you going, guys?
Hey, good, Joe.
Now, did this happen to you too?
Yeah, I received a text message from my husband probably about between 8 and 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He was on Christmas Island and a riot had broken out.
Oh,
Yes.
And he sends me a text message and say, hey, babe, I'm okay. We're locked in a compound room. They're burning the building around us. I love you.
Oh, Joe, that's it.
Hell?
And then how long before you heard from him again?
It would have been a good 6 hours. I was watching it unfold on the news, and I could see, I didn't know what was happening, so I rang his parents and everyone, and I could see on the news these, little heads looking out a window waving.
Yes.
And it was them locked in the room.
Oh, I'm glad this one had a happy ending.
I'm glad you had a bit of a chuckle then, but did you just burst out crying? Were you just inconsolable at times?
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do. I was just like, oh, okay, who am I going to tell?
You know what?
His family, how am I going to tell them?
Yeah, this is the thing. This is why it'd be a decision for some people whether to send that text or not. This is a chance to say goodbye if it is the end.
Yeah. You
but
wouldn't
then
want to
do
not
you
do
want
that.
to scare them in case everything pans
Yeah.
out?
And especially when it's really difficult to get information about the situation.
God, Sean, imagine if you send that text to Megan.
Yeah.
She would unravel. Yeah.
I would feel
Because
like...
Megan loves you way much more than she should.
I'm not sure if that's accurate.
I don't. She loves you.
I'm not sure.
Thanks, Joe.
I'm really not sure, no.
She does. She thinks you're swell.
Beth's in Rossmoyne. Morning, Beth.
Morning, guys. How you going?
Now, did you send or receive the text, Beth?
I sent the text.
Okay. Run us through it.
Well, I got COVID, and unfortunately I have asthma too, so my asthma flared up everything.
Yeah.
So I was actually turning purple, and my sister raced me to the hospital.
Yeah.
And then I got taken through, but because of all the restrictions, she wasn't able to come through with me.
Oh,
so I
man,
texted
scary.
Yeah, who was up in Exmouth at the time and said, "Love you, Mum, I'm okay." And then my phone died. So through everything, I think I got in contact with her about 5 hours later, but because I was over 18, they couldn't give much information over the phone to her. So I had to come to pretty much after everything that happened, and I got a charger and everything. And then be like, "It's okay, guys, I'm alive, I'm here." And yeah, that was my sending text, but Mum was like paranoid the whole time.
Of course she was.
Your mum that whole time. I mean, and remember, this is back when COVID was scary and, like, you know, you couldn't go to the hospital with someone. We were terrified of it back then.
Yeah, and also asthma is a complicating factor. Yeah, more vulnerable.
Yeah.
Extraordinary.
Yeah.
Oh, Beth.
God.
I'm glad that ended happily, but try and keep your phones charged, everybody.
Do you think?
Yeah.
What a moment for the phone to die.
I know.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.